Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is Henry. I thought I'd make a quick video about the two ladders that I carry with me with my truck camper. The first ladder is the entry step ladder to get into the camper. Let me bring you up close. So this is the little giant step ladder here. I guess you would call this the 3-step version. Actually, this is the there's a 2-step version, 3-step version, and then one more up 4-step version. According to the safety sticker on here, the mid-size one that I have, the 3-step, brings us to 26.5 inch, and the reason I use this one obviously is because it's suitable for my truck height. So if your truck's a tiny bit lower or if it's a little bit higher, you can consider the next height. So and you can look up on the website as far as all the heights to see if it works for you. This one's 26.5. Let me show you me getting in. So you can see here, this pretty much is mates up right to my aluminous bumper, and just because the bumper itself has a really good wide tread, that allows me to essentially get in pretty safely. And this thing is rock solid. Typically what happens is there's a safety bar. It's kind of like a handrail. There you can see the two. I think these were riveted. These two rivet holes, matching ones on this side, and basically there's a safety bar that comes up, but the safety bar is a hoop, so it runs up like this. It's quite high. It's meant so that when you're standing on here, you can actually lean against it, and and you can hang on to it. Obviously, that's in the way, so you could also fold it down and fold it out of the way. The problem is that it adds to the weight, and this is not exactly a light ladder. It's probably like, I don't know, probably like maybe 5-7 pounds or so, but it definitely adds to the weight. So basically, you just drill it out, and it saves on a bit of weight. Puts away pretty easily. And that's it, and the whole thing just goes inside my camper. So the other ladder that I carry is what would you call it? It's an A-frame ladder. So I don't carry an extension ladder in this, or a telescoping ladder. So and the reason for that is because often I find myself in a situation where the ladder needs to be freestanding, such as on the side of my truck here. So if I'm trying to reach my roof, I don't necessarily want to lean a telescopic ladder, which is essentially just a straight up and down. You got to lean against something. I have to lean it against the side of my camper, and I don't necessarily have that opportunity. So I have an A-frame ladder, and the A-frame ladder, this one is really cool. It actually collapses in both directions. So not only does it collapse this way, but it also collapses this way to form this tiny little thing. And it just so happens that it actually stays in between my truck camper and the cab, right on the bed rail, and I just have it bungeed in place. Let me show you how I take it out. I basically undo the bungee on this side, and then I do the same thing on the other side, and then I can actually pull it out. And there you go. That's the ladder. I want to say this is a 6-foot ladder. Yeah, it is. That's right. It's a 6-foot ladder. So this ladder is made by GP Logistics. And I bought this off Amazon. It was pretty expensive, actually. You have to look up what the current pricing is. GP Logistics. They make a 5-foot version, 6-foot version, and a 7-foot version. They also make other ladders that are single-sided, but this one's a double-sided. Let me show you how this thing opens. Super cool. So the ladder is Velcro together. You just open it up. So first of all, it opens this way, and then it opens this way. Down here at the bottom, there are 4 locks. And that's it. The ladder is locked, and now this, you can lift here now, and you can't actually collapse it. It can still collapse this way, of course. You can do that, and this thing is super solid as well. Yeah, that's not going anywhere. Let me show you me getting onto my roof with this. So there we go. That's the two-sided A-frame ladder, expandable ladder, and I can come up either side, which is really cool. I can use either side of the ladder for whatever reason. And the reason that I really like this particular ladder over the telescoping one, even though the telescoping one physically becomes a smaller presence, this actually is just a really long stick, and it happens to fit between my cab and the camper, so it doesn't take up any extra room. I can use it to cut down, a lot of times I've actually included in part of my other videos where I've used it to cut down lines in the trees, like the tarp lines and stuff like that people leave behind in trees. So I always deploy it and at camp and just use that to cut down lines. And also I use it on job sites. Like if I got to go into an office building to do something, to bring a 6 foot ladder of any kind, like a normal A-frame ladder, it's a big presence. I can bring essentially this metal stick into an office building, into the elevator, expand it out, and then go up and fix something on the ceiling or something like that. I use it in my house frequently because to get into my attic, I don't actually have like an attic ladder, and I got to use a normal ladder. And to bring like a normal A-frame ladder that I have, because I have a 10-foot ladder or 12-foot ladder, I mean, it's a pain in the ass because I got to get it through the house. This, I just bring my little metal bundle, bring it inside the camp or inside the house, and I'm good to go. And once this ladder is centered, take my little bungee here. Actually, I don't think it's bungee, I think it's shock cord. Bungee is way softer. The shock cord is much stiffer. I've had this shock cord on here for since 2014, and it's 2021 right now. It's the same cord. It hasn't actually sun faded. It sits out in the weather. Nothing's happened to it. So this doesn't even rattle. I can't hear this when I'm driving. It doesn't do anything. It just sits here. Never had an issue. Want to say hi to my neighbor's dog? Hi, Kato. Come here. Come say hi. Oh, bye, baby girl. There we go, folks. I hope that was helpful. My 6-foot GP Logistics collapsible ladder, usable both sides. They have different models that are only usable one side. I don't know if that's a little bit cheaper. You can look it up. I bought it from Amazon. Find the one that's suitable for what you need, how high your roof is, that kind of stuff. My brother-in-law he's a plumber, and he has a telescoping ladder, and he keeps it in his work van. I've seen it. I've seen people use it to great effect. I think it's probably cheaper, and it's more compact this way, into a little, probably the size of a briefcase is how I remember it. But again, it needs to be leaned up against something, and I've had plenty of times where that was not an option. And I do like this ladder, like I said, the ability for me to take this ladder inside a workplace, inside my house, and I can use it as a freestanding ladder. So that's a huge thing. And Little Giant, also bought it off Amazon. And again, just don't forget to drill out the safety handle, because it's not really needed for our application, and you can take the weight off of it for transport. Just makes it nicer. All right, thanks folks, see you in the next video.